Hi guys, welcome back to Ultimate Garage. So today the plan is to clean up the carburetor, see how it is, and put it back on the engine, hopefully. So as you can see, I've already covered the air intake to the carburetor so that not too much dirt goes inside. And yeah, I'm just going to clean the rest the same way I've cleaned the engine before. Right, so while the carburetor is drying up, I'm gonna use the time to replace a few other things on the engine, starting with the starter motor I repainted the other day. Looks quite nice actually, I'm quite happy with it. So that's going to be a quick one because as you saw when I took it off, it's only 2 bolts fixed on the gearbox and that's it. So this comes here. And that's it. That's an 11 socket as usual. There you go. Next, gonna change the battery compartment. So as you can see here, the battery compartment is in a pretty bad shape and it is not even fixed properly. When I restarted the car, I put just one bolt in here quickly so that it wouldn't fall off. But I'm going to change all these. As I said in the previous video, I've got a brand new, I've got another battery compartment that I restored and repainted. So yeah, and I'm going to change or replace the 4 bolts by new ones, so that there's no problem after that. So this comes off. See, this is because of the acid from the battery, probably leaked. And it did the same here, but yeah, I'll fix that when I deal with the bodywork later on. So let's put the new one in place. Here it is. There you go. And then I've got one new bolt here. 2, 3, and 4. Easy. So now I just need to put that properly tight, and that's it. And that's it. Looks much better like that, doesn't it? I like the new bolts. Right, so now the next step is to put the intake manifold and the carburetor back on. I think. No, actually no. First thing is to put the bracket for tensioning the fan belt on, and this comes on here. So I'm gonna have to release this bolt. and that goes back on. There you go. Now it's time to put the intake manifold back on. So I'm gonna remove the bolts that I had left here not to lose them. Now I can remove the plugs from there, here and here. This one comes here, and this one comes here, I think. Right, I'll put it after. First of all, I need to put that on here and on here. Alright. And everything comes back into place. Right, and now just tighten everything back in place, and that's it. There you go. Now before I put the heating boxes back in the exhaust line, I would like to change the shock absorber that's on the back of the gearbox, because after the heating boxes go back into the exhaust line, then everything is going to be tied together. So I need to do that before tightening everything together. And before I can lift the gearbox, I need to put the front of the engine back on the chassis and put the two bolts that maintain it on the chassis back in place. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm not going to tighten them because I still want the engine to be able to move freely, pretty much, but I want them back in place so that it won't fall down. And there you go. So now I can take the engine down slowly if possible. There you go. And I need to lift the gearbox, but before that I need to loosen the bolts that maintain the gearbox on the chassis and the shock absorber on the chassis as well. So I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it here. I'll try and show you. So the gearbox is kept on the shock absorber by two bolts here. Not sure. Can you see it maybe? Here and here. And this shock absorber is kept in place by two bolts as well that are here and here. So these are the four bolts that I need to loosen now. And since I'm doing that as well, I might as well release the gearbox lever from here so that the gearbox is free to lift up. That should be enough, I think. So I'm going to do that now. Right, so first thing is to remove the gearbox pin here. as I said before, this part is shot anyway, so I'm going to replace it here. This, I'm going to put it back here so that I don't lose it. Well, that's not how I was planning to do it, but I'm going to put it back on here so that I don't lose it. This can stay there. And now I'm going to need, so that is 19, I think. Got it. And that's one done. Let's see if I manage to do the same on the other side. Yes. Second one is coming now. Right, so before I do anything else, I'm going to need to support the gearbox from underneath, so I need to put the jack. Let's see if I can show you. Right, so now that it's supported, I can go back here and loosen the two bolts that keeps the shock absorber on the chassis, and that's supposed to be an 11, I think. Let's see if it's as tight as the bolts on the gearbox. Hope not. Well, it's tight. But first one is coming at least. Let's see a second one. And that's out. This one isn't too bad actually. I'll keep it as a spare because, as you can see, it's not even cracked or anything. Well, just a little bit here actually, yeah. Well, it can still be useful as a spare, but yeah, I was right in changing it. So I'll get the new one. As you can see, there's quite a difference. And I'll put that back in place. That's it. Now I put the gearbox down. Slowly. That's it. And I can tighten the gearbox back on. Right, since I'm here, I'm gonna replace this as well. Will be done. So this is the new kit. It comes with the bracket. This can be changed as well, because this is not the original one. So we'll see how it goes. So this is broken, which is why I'm changing it. And this is supposed to come, I think there's one like that underneath, this one on top of here, is it? Maybe. Yeah, on one of those clips. And same here, so I'm gonna remove this one, which is the old one. I'll keep it anyway because this is always handy. Put this one in its place. There we go. Push that through. And here comes this. And the clip. There we go, brand new. And since I'm here putting new things onto the engine, I'm gonna put the new petrol filter in it. So petrol filter is supposed to come somewhere between the fuel pump and the carburetor intake. And on the petrol filter you've got a small arrow, not sure if you can see it. Yeah, here. To indicate the way the petrol is supposed to flow in there. So I need to cut this pipe and put it somewhere in the middle. So let's do that. There you go. I will need to put clips on each of the ends, but I need to buy them. I don't have any here, so I'll do that later. So this is done too. I can cross that off my list. And next I need to put the exhaust, the heating boxes back in place. So I'm going to do that now. So this is the first one. And here's the second one. First. Now I just need to put the rings back. I'll probably speed this part up because there's nothing really interesting in there. But yeah, it's part of the job anyway. Needs to be done. Main thing when you're putting that back on the engine is to orientate it properly so that you can easily access it later if you need to take them out. I'm gonna try and put them back together without any cement. Normally on these cars you don't need it, but sometimes when the parts are old and worn out, like it might be the case here, sometimes you need to add a bit of cement in there because, well, the exhaust is leaking. But it seems to be in a pretty good shape here, so I'm going to try and not use any. Then I can always go back and add it later if needed.